Hey guys!
Hello.
Welcome back. So, I'm Raquel.
I'm Jake.
And this is Don't You Know? Ooh, I think that was actually right this time, and I won't have to edit it like I did last week.
I've had this intro like 50 times. We still talk about it at the beginning of every segment.
Okay. So, we have lots of updates, which I was thinking about it, and I realized the word I was looking for a lot of episodes back was announcements. I think announcements was the term I was looking for instead of updates.
Announcements. That works.
I think that applies. Yeah.
Updates,
So
and announcements. Yeah, it works for me.
Whatever. So, okay. So let's start with the podcast, and then we can go right into our lives because I have lots of stuff. So much stuff. The whole episode's going to just be about me. Done.
Every episode's just about you, you know.
Anyways, okay. So first announcement. First thing about the podcast. We have one new follower. So what?
Woo! Welcome to the team.
So we have a few new countries that we have listeners in now.
Cool.
We have had listeners in Greece, Argentina, Turkey, and now the UK. What?
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And
That's
you know what's
fun.
actually pretty funny is one of the our episode that's got so many downloads, and I assume a lot of them is from these different countries, is our 4th of July episode.
Very interesting.
Apparently, the other countries are like, oh,
Just want to know what it's
America
like.
independence. Let's see what's going on.
Let's hear about how many of those United Statesians have burned themselves down. I don't know why I always assume there's so much animosity. I've never experienced any. I always have friends. I just feel like USA is fun to poke at. Anyway.
I guess so, yeah. I don't know.
We're glad y'all are listening.
America.
America. Heck yeah.
We also had our first comment that wasn't from Jacob.
First.
Yeah, and it was from Flex Pets.
Flex.
I am so sorry if I pronounced your username wrong. I asked Jacob because I can't read.
No, she's terribly bad with all things names and pronunciation.
If it was pronounced wrong, that's on Jacob.
It's Flex Pets. It's
Anyways.
2 4-letter words.
Actually, it's one word on Podbean. Thank you very much.
It's weird putting spaces into usernames.
So thanks for the comment. We're glad that you enjoy our podcast, and we hope you keep listening. So, I have lots and lots and lots of stories, cause...
Do you now?
Yeah, cause we're kind of behind on our recording, and we're kind of behind on our uploading, which I'm sorry guys. I've been sick, and I'm still kind of sick.
Still sick. You're always sick.
This is what
You need to
happens.
eat more vegetables.
I've been sick because of my brother. He got me sick. He's coughing and breathing the same air as me in my car.
Oh, gross.
Anyways, yeah.
Does he eat his vegetables?
No, he doesn't.
Well.
He actually has like a really bad diet.
Oh, no. It's important to take care of your diets, you know. I'm having a salad today just because I've been thinking about one.
Yeah, salad actually doesn't sound too bad, but that's not what I'm having for dinner. Anyways.
Oh.
So, Jacob, do you have any stories you want to tell before we talk only about me?
I saw 80s rock legend and worldwide rock legend Iron Maiden in Atlanta with my dad and my 2 brothers, one of which you may remember from our video game episode. So we had a very good time up there. We rocked out pretty hard, and
I saw a picture of your family, and it was really interesting because it looked like you and your brothers belonged at that concert, but then you had your dad.
Wow.
Did not look like you
Roasted.
fit in.
He'll remember that if he is ever a guest on here. He's gonna bring it up. It's kind of funny because he wasn't a bride orange shirt, and I was like, he can go stand over there with that lady in the pink blazer. Not blazer, but he's like, no, but the funny thing is like, he's like OG, like he saw them back in 88, like in Miami. So he's been there, done that. So he's got the shirt, worn it out.
And he stood out like even more compared to you 3 because like you guys were all wearing like dark colors, and then he was wearing this bright orange shirt.
Well, we like to dress for the occasion. And you look around and it was just, I mean, there were people from all over, just all different types of people and all different colors and everything too. He wasn't the only one in an orange shirt, I doubt.
He was representing Mercer.
Yeah, right. We were looking up. There were like 18,000 people. The space for that in that amphitheater. Wow. Yeah, it was at Lakewood. It was really good and a great show. They played amazingly, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. The set pieces were really good. There was a massive plane, like a Spitfire, like a British Spitfire, hovering. It looked like it was like a 1-1 scale, but it was hanging there above them while they played the first song. And it was a great show. There was a big winged statue when they played Flight of Icarus, so that was pretty cool. And then they dropped it at the end of that. That was really neat. And they had a flamethrower, some swords and stuff. It was great. It was a great show. Recommend.
There you go.
That's about all I did. Other than that, we just talked about the cars, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The C8 Corvette came out this last weekend. Yeah, it's the first mid-engine Corvette. Kind of a big deal. Are they changing to get with the program and stay at the top of the line, or should they have designed a different car and let the Corvette stay front engine? Who knows?
I'm trying very, very hard to pretend I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
The engine is in the middle. It's behind the driver.
Okay.
But that changes how the whole car feels. I think they should have made a different car, and if it's faster, so be it.
I don't know. If the engine's, front, back, middle, I don't know.
Do you think you should change the brand to keep your top car at the top? Because the Corvette is the fastest Chevy car. And so if they made a different one that's faster, they don't want to do it, because they want the Corvette to stay there. Would you stay with your Corvette, your flagship, your golden boy car? Or would you let it retire and bring in the new one that's faster? Because of technology. What would you do if it was your car company?
I would do.
It's a car that's been around since, 68, 67?
See, that's really hard because, if you retire it, then the value of your older models should go up even more.
Well, let me clarify. I'm not thinking retire it, sever it. I'm saying they've changed the whole car. They've basically taken a whole different car and said, oh, this is a Corvette now because it's going to be faster. They've never had a car that's faster, but this car can't get any faster. It has to be a different car. Would you leave this car with this lineage and name it that and let the next one be faster? You can still sell them. They're still making them, but the other one's faster.
I don't know if I would retire it, just because if you think about it, yes, the whole car design is changing on it, but part of what sells a Corvette is the speed. So if you retire it and come out with this new one that's faster, then you kind of lose some of that Corvette, kind of what sells the Corvette.
So the Corvette is an idea, and the idea is it is the best.
Yeah.
I like that. That sounds pretty good.
I mean, other than, the Corvette, this is what I wanted when I was a kid. Of course I want this newer version. No. The Corvettes, the value of the history behind it only is going to apply to the older models. It's not going to apply to the newer ones that are coming out.
Yeah, the mid-engine one, the C8.
Yeah, so the only way to keep the value of the Corvette and to be able to continue to sell it would be for it to always have that meaning of the fastest car.
Yeah, well spoken.
Mm-hmm. That psychology degree comes in handy. What?
But you're not a driving enthusiast, are you?
No.
No. And herein lies the debate. No, I'm just teasing. I think it's great. It's a fantastic car. I'd love to drive one.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, tangent aside, that's all my announcements. Heavy metal and fast cars. Perfect.
Ooh, so does that mean it is my turn to do all of my stuff?
Yeah, I'm tapped out. Let's hear your Raquel's vlog.
Okay, so first thing, what should I do? Should I tell what I did last weekend, or should I talk about this funny story?
We should talk about the pops you got, because I saw you open them.
Oh, those pops? Oh, they're just from the Toy Tukio bundle. I'm just gonna go and sell them, so they're not anything really worth missing.
She turned so many pops, they're not even special anymore. Just like, oh yeah, this is just part of the stock.
No, I bought that bundle just because a lot of times they sell out really quickly. So I bought them in case one of my friends weren't able to get it. But all of my friends were able to get it, so now I'm just going to turn around and sell it and just make my money back.
Oh, I see.
I did get my Big Bang ones, but I haven't opened them yet, so I don't know what condition they're in.
I heard you talking about them in a previous episode. All right, carry on. Your updates.
Okay. What should I do? Okay, well speaking of pops, let's talk about what are these pops coming from, which is San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, is that coming up?
No, it was last weekend. That's where me and my brother went to. We didn't actually go into the event. We didn't actually have tickets, but we did drive down there, and they have tons of stuff to do on the outside. And man, there were so many people. There was so much stuff to do. But we went there so early that we kind of left somewhat early because it was my grandpa's 95th birthday this weekend. So we had to come back. Go, Grandpa.
95.
And so we had to come back in time for his birthday party. So we kind of had to leave early for that, and we just got down there so early. And we were down there at probably like 8:30, 9, and none of the stuff opened up until 10. So we were kind of walking around for a long time. But it was a lot of fun. There was a couple of games, and he kicked my brother's butt in all of those games. No, just kidding.
What games?
There was, okay, and this was kind of surprising. So they had the typical basketball one where you shoot into the basket, and it has like 4 of them, and you compete. You have like a certain amount of time, and you have to go really fast. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I was like on a mission or something. I think my goal was just not to do too much worse than my brother, because my brother actually plays basketball, and he's known to be a shooter.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. But these balls are way different than regulation.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've always played with the little ones.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think these were the little ones. They were the regular size ones, I think. And man, I got 52 points. My brother only had 24.
Wow.
And then they're like, wow. And then they're like, no, you gotta keep going. Because it's like one of those ones where I think if you go past like 50, you get to keep going for a little bit longer. But I didn't know that. And so then I was like, what? Oh, okay. And I kept shooting. And I got 57, and the high score was 58. And I was like, oh, wow. I know I was supposed to keep shooting. I could have easily beat 58. And I was like, oh. But anyways, because then, girl power. I got high score.
Yeah.
But, so we did that, and then they had another game where it was a volleyball, and they had the buckets, kind of like, almost like the trash can bucket looking things, and it was basically like beer pong. Throw the volleyball into the other team's buckets.
Cool. How'd you do on that?
Me and Nick killed it. Of course, I'm the one that got the winning shot. I got,
Of course.
Since it was taking, some of them were taking a long time, they changed up the rules. Instead of it being get all 6 of your other team's buckets, they just did 3. So Nick got 1 and I got 2 of the buckets. So.
Nice. Pretty good. So you're pretty familiar with a game like that, huh?
Yeah. What? No. So that was San Diego Con. A lot of fun.
Did you see a lot of costumes, or is it not a costume thing?
Oh no, San Diego Con is costumes. There was a
costumes. Okay. Did you all dress up?
No, we didn't.
You don't do that. You gotta do it sometime.
I have dressed up before. Remember?
Oh, okay, so you've seen it.
For Anime Expo. I dressed up for Rin from Stay the Night.
That's right. Okay, I do remember.
And my dad dressed up like Master Roshi. And everyone loved it.
I do remember this now. Okay, so you've had the experience. You understand.
Yeah. And surprisingly, there was a lot of people dressed up in anime costume. Even though San Diego Con, it's a Comic-Con, so you should be like superheroes and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people in the anime.
Oh, I mean, manga's comics.
Comic-Con. Anyways, I have a story. This one's a quick one. So I have only recently put my contacts back in because sometimes I wait too long to order my contacts. And so they run out before I actually received my next pair.
Oh, I'm sure the streets of LA are completely very happy with this story.
What? Why would the streets of...
Because you'd be driving without contacts, but you have glasses.
Okay, I have
just
glasses,
teasing.
Okay. And so, last time I ordered my contacts, they sent me a free pair of lenses to, try. They wanted me to try them and see if I liked them. Trying to, I guess promote them or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so, I was like, since I was out without my contacts, one of the days I was like, you know what, I'm going to try these contacts until my other, they're only 1 day ones. So I was like, it's okay, I'll just wear them for today and then hopefully my contacts will come in the next day. So I don't have to go a third day with my glasses. I opened the packet and it's only got 1 lens in there. I have 2 eyes. They only send me 1 lens. I don't know how they expect me to try this.
Have you maybe used one in the past? You dropped one or something and you're like, oh, I got a spare?
No, and I don't have that brand either, so...
Oh, huh?
I've never tried that brand, and it just, I was just like, why would you only send 1? What am I supposed to do? Wear an eye patch? I can't only have 1 contact in, because my vision's so bad that, I just couldn't do it. I don't know how I just can't.
But was it comfortable?
I didn't try it. I can't wear 1 contact.
Oh, you didn't even try it.
I can't wear 1
contact. Oh, what a waste.
Contact.
You should just email them and say, hey, I never got my free trial of contact. You send another. They'd be like, oh yeah, here you go. And just keep doing that every month with a different... No, you can't do that. You have to move.
So, my contacts came in yesterday. And I opened the thing because I was like, maybe they sent me another one, another free contact to try. And then I would have 2 and I could do it. They
You
didn't.
could do it for like a month. No, wasn't that fortunate.
They're only 1 day contacts. Anyways, but when I opened it, it didn't have it. So I was like,
So you wear them for a week.
Yeah, so when I opened it up, they didn't have it. So I was like, oh well, I guess I'm never trying this contact then. Okay.
Too bad.
Let's see here. I think I have one more story only to tell. I thought I had a couple more, but I don't remember them, so I guess I just won't say them. I should have wrote them down. So bad about that. I always try to write things down. I'm so sorry, guys, because I know my life is so interesting. Not really. Anyways, okay. I think I was just going to mention that I've had a cold for the past, week or 2. I think that was the only other thing. Oh, no, now I remember. Oh, okay. So, guess what me and my brother did the day before we went to San Diego Comic-Con?
You woke up and had breakfast. Sorry, go on. I don't know. Why don't you share it?
Me and Nick did a VR Escape the Room with the Jack the Ripper theme.
Jack the Ripper. My favorite of Rippers.
It was so much fun. It wasn't really Escape the Room. It was more like discover clues and use the clues to figure out who the Jack the Ripper was. And at the very end, you have to pick which person is Jack the Ripper. And so...
If you're wrong, an innocent gets put in a jail. If you're right, you get ripped. It's you. And he's like, you're right. How was it?
It was a lot of fun, but me and Nick died at the end because we guessed wrong.
Oh. Oh, darn. Oh, if you get... Oh, darn. Well... Was it spooky?
You know what? It kind of was. I don't normally, jump scares. I do get, startled every once in a while, but not too often. And this, I was startled quite a few times, and I'm pretty sure I screamed. Not very, very loud, but I'm pretty sure I screamed at some point.
Just a little
Just yeah, exactly. A little
It was a lowercase scream.
Yeah, lowercase scream. Even my brother actually kind of did his... the man scream, not the... Because there's, I think there's 2 types of screams a guy can have. There's, a man scream, which is just oh, and then there's the high-pitched scream that you, question their manhood kind of thing.
So, yeah, some people scream and you gotta, revoke their, man card. Get that high-pitch falsetto.
Yeah.
No, I think that if you gotta scream for your life. Get somebody's attention. Don't worry. Don't get stabbed because you don't want to shriek. No, just...
You're more likely to get help if you sound like a little girl screaming.
Yeah, there you go. Everyone wants to be a white knight. Nobody wants to help some dude. No. I'm just teasing. So, have you done a lot of VR?
I've done some.
You've been to VR arcades, right?
I haven't. I've seen some.
Oh.
I've been to a VR convention and tried a couple games there.
Okay.
So this was my very first one where it wasn't it was a, your VR set was like a book bag that you wore.
Oh, cool.
Instead of being kind of standing in one spot, doing the VR, this one was actually you wore a book bag, so you were moving around.
Oh, I see.
You were in a square still, but it was still a very big square, so you can move around and not worry about tripping over cords and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. The wireless ones that they have out now are so good. The only thing I wonder about is battery power. Man, I'll play it for 6 hours sometimes. Just get at it.
It was a lot of fun. I had one. Nick had a lantern and then one hand to grab stuff with, and I had some magic crystal ball looking thing and then my grabbing hand.
You both played together?
Yeah, we both played together.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so he grabbed a butcher knife and was carrying that around everywhere.
Nice. Not a bad idea.
And so I was grabbing onto a skull, I don't know if it was a real skull or wax skull or whatever, because it was Wax Museum. And so anyways, I was holding a skull, and I hear him do his little manly kind of scream. He turned around and do this manly scream. I was like, what? And I turned around, and there's a horse. But it startled me, and I threw the skull at it. It just went right through it, though. And still, I was like, and then threw it.
That's funny.
So it was a lot of fun. I would definitely be down to do it again. I think what me and my brother are planning to do, though, is instead... They have a place called The Void, and they have a couple of different locations. And it is a VR one, too, but this one's an actual, maze. Whereas this one was kind of a mystery, solve the thing, or whatever. This one's actually a maze.
Puzzle riddle thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Very neat. I just tend to be I actually get some different, puzzle games like that. Because most of my games are just, shooting at stuff. or slashing stuff. It's like I realized recently trying to show them off, and I'm like, it's all different shades of the same basic combat game. They're all vastly different, though.
Okay, so I have one last thing.
Okay.
I haven't seen the movies, but I have seen this TV show, and I have to talk about it.
Oh,
it's
you
an
have
anime.
to. Okay, it's an anime.
And oh my god. It's called Violet Evergarden. It's a Netflix original. And I saw it a couple times and I was like, that doesn't look like something I'd be interested in. But I kept seeing everywhere, so I read the summary. I was like, that still doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in.
And you watched it anyway.
Yes. Recently, the studio in Japan that makes Violet Evergarden, they actually had someone set a fire to their studio.
Oh, this is one of theirs.
Yeah. So they had a lot of people who were injured and had, I think they had a couple of casualties. So we're gonna send love to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I heard that it was the largest, I don't remember the statistic, right? I want to say it was the largest, like, mass, like, killing or death since World War II.
Wow. So I decided to go, and so I saw that one of their, animes that they make was Violet Evergarden, so I was like, okay, you know what, I'll give it a try. And after watching the first episode, I was kind of still like, I don't know if I really like this, but I'll go ahead and I had downloaded a couple episodes onto my phone, so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and at least finish watching the couple of episodes that I downloaded on my phone, because it'd be kind of pointless for me to have downloaded it. And after a while, I was kind of like, this is alright show, I'll keep watching it. And then I got to episode 10, and oh my god.
And a big plot twist.
No. I almost cried.
Oh.
And I don't cry from movies. I don't cry from TV shows. Nothing like that. But I almost cried after watching this episode.
That good, huh?
It was so good. And the next episode was kind of sad too. And I was like, I could see that it's sad, but it's not going to make me almost cry like the last episode.
Yeah.
And then the episode after that, I was like, you know what I just realized? Every single one of these episodes are sad.
Just like your daily dose of sad.
Yeah, so, because it makes sense now that I think about it, because the show takes place right when the war ends. Like a really big, war that they had going on that lasted several years. And of course, the main character was a soldier. So, there's also flashbacks and stuff like that.
What time setting is this?
I'm not sure, because, okay, so it's kind of weird.
It's like kind of ancient or kind of modern?
It's probably closer to ancient, but it almost seems like they have some modern technology. Like, I've seen them, they have trains, and they also have, people going around on, I think wagons only. I don't think I've seen any cars. And they have they use typewriters and stuff like that, and none of them have cell phones.
Sounds like steampunk to me.
But they had airplanes, and it seemed like it was not necessarily, brand new airplanes. Maybe, World War, II type airplanes. I don't know. So I guess I would put it in that.
Did you see a lot of mechanical gears everywhere?
No, not really.
A lot of brown top hats. I can just Google it. I have the power of the internet.
There you go.
What's it called? The Evergreen?
Violet Evergarden. So, it was really good. The episode almost made me cry, but I was at work, so I didn't cry because I couldn't.
Oh, you had to hold yourself together.
I did. You know how, your throat kind of closes up?
Yeah. You gotta look away.
Your eyes water. And you're like, I'm gonna cry!
You touch your sinuses a little.
So, I think I might watch that episode again today, in my room, so that I could cry, because I don't feel quite as satisfied without having cried, because, that episode was very sad. And I feel like a void because I didn't cry.
Oh, you gotta go let it all out.
Yeah. And so, yes. So that was a really good anime. I definitely recommend it. Not only that, but just support our loved anime studio.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it. I didn't see any movies at all yet. My brothers want to go see, one of my brothers wants to go see that Lion King movie.
The new Lion King. They say they're post-World War I, by the way.
Okay, there you go. Post-World War I. So not quite World War II airplanes. I'm sorry, people. I don't know my stuff.
They're probably biplanes.
I'm not a history buff.
That's okay. It's only our world that we live in.
History. Who needs it?
So you said they were going to see the Lion King, huh? Kind of wish I had a pet lion. That would be pretty cool.
Ooh, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to go into our topic. Let's do it then, huh?
Sure.
So our topic is going to be about pets.
Pets.
Ooh, what? don't remember why I chose pets. I think it's just because I miss my dog.
As good a reason as any. Yeah, good old pets. Cats, dogs, creepy crawlies. We got them all.
What? So, shall I start it off, or do you want to start it off?
Well, you're the host. Why don't you lead us in?
Okay. Don't you know dogs are the best pets? Boom.
All right.
Great
I guess
job.
we'll open up with a stereotypical dog person. Being a stereotypical dog person. That's fine. If you want a standard issue, 4 legs, furry, loves you, no matter what. If you want easy mode, if you want to buy compassion. No, I'm being overly critical. Dogs are really cool.
You just jealous. You just miss your roommate's dogs. You're holding it all in.
I do. No, dogs are cool. We've had a few dogs in our family growing up, and they are fun. And I don't think that I'm a dog person because I don't like to be as energetic as a dog needs you to be.
I have no problem with that.
AKA I'm lazy. No,
AKA I'm hyper.
dogs are pretty cool. I can definitely do dogs. Because, they're fun. You can, rough and, crazy with them, Like, you can wrestle a dog. They love it. So you can go to town with them. And, they love that sort of stuff. You want to run, you want to jump, you want to be loud. They're all that in a bag of chips, Yeah, dogs are pretty cool. Yeah, I don't really have it, don't you know? Just, yeah, dogs are pretty cool.
Speaking of dogs, it started to make me think that maybe we should talk about what type of pets we have right now.
Yeah, our background.
And what we've had in the past.
This is, you see, we're subject matter experts in all things, don't you know? And we should come out with our qualifications, of course. What sort of expert training have you had?
I think you should go first because you have the most experience with different types of animals.
Oh, do I? Okay. All right, I've
At
had...
least compared to me.
It starts way back. My first pet was a snake, and we also had a cat. It was a red rat snake. I was very young. I don't remember it too well. And then I had a hamster at some point. I think we had a couple hamsters. I've had chickens, although they weren't really pets. They were kind of pets. It wasn't like we were eating them. We were eating their eggs. We had dogs. We've had a few dogs. We've had a handful of cats. I've had spiders in middle school and high school and after college.
And now.
I currently have one being after college. And I also have a fish. I've had a snail, but he's recently departed. What else? I've had a centipede. Never had a scorpion.
Sorry, that was not something I probably should have laughed at. It's just...
Oh, no.
I don't
That's
know.
okay.
It was the tone that you said it in. It would just make me
He lived a
laugh.
full life. He was very happy. That was a cool snail. His name is Charizard. What else?
Did you mention your rats?
Oh, of course. I've had 2 rats. 3 rats, actually.
How could you forget that?
I
That's
don't
like
know.
the only pet I remember the most about.
I went all around in a whole circle, and I went right around the 2 main guys. Yeah, rats are really cool.
Everyone listening is picturing these, dirty rats from the sewer.
Everyone recoils. Try and bear with me. Luckily, it's a podcast, so you don't have to see any right now, but... No, rats are cool. We can talk about them. Other than that, I haven't had any, but I have some experience with horses. I used to help muck stables in exchange for riding lessons. I think that's it. I've seen a rhinoceros. I've seen gators in the wild. Those aren't pets.
He's from Florida. Of course you have.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? They aren't pets. You're from Florida. They are your pets.
Well, yeah, we were fine. We coexisted.
My list is significantly shorter.
Okay.
I've had dogs, multiple dogs, couple cats. We've had a couple cats, but we don't tend to keep cats really because they're just, a lot of times cats just prefer to be outside, and that was just not what we wanted. So we've always usually had dogs.
That means you haven't earned their respect. We want to get out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
I've had a fish, I think. It was a beta.
I have a fish. I don't think I mentioned him.
Yeah, you did. You mentioned him when you talked about your snail.
I'm proud of him.
And I laughed because you said he died.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, carry on. You said you had a beta.
Yes. I don't think it lasts very long. I don't remember it lasting very long.
Don't worry. Rip.
And those are supposed to last 3 or 5 years. I don't even think it made it a couple of months.
You must have been very negligent then.
Probably. That's why I don't... In college, we were allowed to have fish in the dorms, and I refused to get one just because I was I would forget about it. And then I would put it on my desk. I would have it on my desk, and I'd forget. And my desk was so disorganized. I just put stuff on top, and then I'd probably put stuff on top of his tank and just forget. And then I'd be like, oh, wait a second. And I'd remove a book, and I was like, oh my god, there's a fish tank under here.
No, you'd smell it. Oh man, fish tanks are a lot of work. Don't you know, I'll start us off. An aquarium is a lot of work. More work than you probably think it is. You may have even researched it. You may think you know. It's probably more work than you think it is. They're a lot of work. That being said, they're very satisfying and they're fun and it's a lot to learn and it's an interesting challenge. I only got into them like a year and a half ago, but they're a lot of work though. I say as I need to change my water. Get a system. You can get a big system, but a lot of costs sink too. Let me not start on another tangent. Carry on.
Don't you know that if your college does not allow you to have pets other than a fish in your like live in a fish tank in your dorm, your pets, if you have a dog, you can't put it in the fish tank. It doesn't count. I know a lot of people joked about that.
That is pretty
funny.
funny.
We were in school. Because you can have up to like a 10-gallon tank, I think, in the dorms.
Yeah.
People are like,
that's pretty big size. You're having to change that every week. It's a lot of work.
And then I've also had a guinea pig, and that's about it. That's the only things we've had.
Guinea pig. Well, should we talk about guinea pigs? We can kind of go through all the rodents, the friendly, or should we stay to...
I was really little when we had a guinea pig, so honestly, I don't really remember. The only thing I really remember about at least our specific guinea pig was, don't you know that when you give guinea pigs a bath in the sink, they poop for some reason? I just remember that. I just remember giving it a bath. Yeah, I just remember giving it a bath. Every time we would give it a bath in the sink, it just would all of a sudden just start pooping.
Well, I could think of two reasons. It might be relaxed, or on the other hand, he might be super stressed out and is trying to relieve himself so he can be faster. That is like a survival tactic.
So, that's all I have to say about guinea pigs.
Third option, he just has to poop. He's just always pooping. You interrupted his regular schedule. You didn't think he was expecting a bath today, do you?
Yeah, don't you know dogs are a part of your family?
Yeah.
Going back to dogs. Most of my don't you knows and stuff like that is in regards to dogs. I'm a dog person, guys.
And that makes sense. I mean, I saw something recently and like statistics and like number one most common pet was fish, but I think the statistics were skewed because usually you have like a dozen fish or so. But number two was dogs. It's right up there.
Yeah. It also depends on where you're asking because a lot of places won't let you have pets. And so, but they'll allow you have like fish and stuff like that. And sometimes fish are like starter pets, you know? A parent might get a kid a fish so that they could show that they have responsibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, and it helps build a routine, too. Like what you were talking about, forgetting a fish. Like, you gotta take care of them. You gotta remember them.
What are you trying to say, Jacob?
They need to eat every day. If you can't take care of a fish, get a tarantula. They're easy. You feed them once a month, just drop a couple crickets in there, good to go. Well, it depends on what kind you have. If you got a big old hungry female, you better be feeding her once a week.
Plus, goldfish can be cheap. Like, if you get goldfish, I'm not talking about, like, fancy fish. I'm saying, like, just a goldfish. They're really cheap. Like, a goldfish is 25 cents, and then you just get, like, a little, like, fish bowl, because they're not going to live for very long, so you don't need a fancy fish tank for them.
Everything you said goes against the goldfish hobby.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Goldfish are commonly neglected, and because they grow to be like 6 inches long, they're actually like koi fish, or what you normally find, the little comets.
Mm-hmm.
And they get big and they need a lot of space, and they're very dirty, so they need a lot of space. But yeah, like my goldfish right now is in a 10 gallon, and he's too big already. He needs a 20 gallon, and eventually we'll need a 50 gallon. And
okay. Well, then you didn't get him from Walmart for 25 cents.
Yep, because they'll sell them to you all day, and they don't live long because they need space. People don't, and they need a lot of water change. That's what I'm saying. You say, oh, just get a goldfish. Having an aquarium is probably harder than you think. Gotta research it. These are lives.
Yeah, it's a goldfish. No, I'm just kidding.
They're like the bees. They're important.
Oh, bees. Oh.
Koi fish were like bred for their beauty, too. It means comet. And they're very pretty. I love my little goldfish.
Koi fish are different.
Koi fish are goldfish.
Koi fish are cooler looking. They're not like that orange goldfish. This goldfish, this goldfish that smiles back. Whatever it's called. Is it the cracker that smiles back? What is that? What is their slogan?
The snack that smiles back.
There we go. I should have known that because it rhymes. Oops.
My article today is from Koi Story.
There we go. Make sure you post it in the article thing so I can get to it.
It says koi versus goldfish. Why are they so similar? I'm going to paraphrase. So I have to read real fast. They're both descendants of carp. So they're actually distant relatives. Sound like they're a little more different than I was thinking. Goldfish were developed in China over that. Don't haha yet. You had no idea. The peanut gallery just laughing up at me.
They're really distant relatives. It doesn't count.
There's coloring differences, so koi fish can have more black in them. Koi versus goldfish body shape. It depends on what. It's kind of one of these things. It's like in the tarantula industry. You always have to know the like scientific name of everything, because you get a goldfish, everybody will call goldfish different things. But I think that the big difference is if the tail is split or not. If you have a split tail in a triangle, that's goldfish. If you have a split like a fee, that's a comet. That's a koi fish.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure that's the difference. Well, I have a split tail koi fish, and he needs a bigger tank.
Okay, well, you want me to do my article then, since we're talking about articles?
Yeah, sure.
So this article is in relation to kind of one of my don't you knows, which is, don't you know that you should strap in your animal when going like on car rides and stuff like that? A lot of people don't. They don't strap their animal in any way.
It's very hard to.
Yeah, but if you get into an accident, then your like dog or whatever is gonna go flying through your windshield. You know?
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Very it's damaging.
It's
no
very
different
dangerous. It would kill him.
Yeah, it's no different than you would strap your baby into a car seat, and then you should strap your dog in. And I just recently bought a vest, and what it is it has a vest, and so basically it straps, the vest hooks into the seatbelt. So I hook the seatbelt in, and then I hook this vest to the seatbelt.
That sounds pretty cool.
And they have lots of stuff like that.
How did the animals like it, though? Like, is it comfortable for yours?
My dog hates car rides, period.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter.
But do you feel like you're adding to it, or is it just feels a little more safe, maybe?
She just hates car rides. There's just
gotcha.
nothing. But on the bright side though is that a lot of times I won't roll down the window for her because I'm afraid she'll jump out. Because one of the times she came here and my mom drove off and she jumped out the front window chasing down my mom's car.
Wow.
So she would jump out of a moving car. No doubt about it.
Crazy.
So with this vest though, she's strapped in. So I rolled out the window and I don't have to worry about her jumping out the window because she can't
get out if she wanted.
So
yeah, another thing that's really important too is that even if you don't care about your pet, which is terrible, if you get in a car accident, your pet could go forward into the back of you and could still kill you that way, even if you are buckled up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, projectiles in the car. If your dog's 35 pounds, doing 55, that's a lot of pounds going into the back of your neck. Or the teeth come around and bite you in the neck or something.
Oh, wow.
It happens. Passengers, too, big time. Make your passengers buckle up. Hey.
Yeah. So my article has to deal with that. Since I bought a vest online on my phone, guess what happened? Facebook found out. And so now Facebook posts lots of dog stuff on, like, suggested ads.
How nice of them.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the suggested ads was a vest for dogs.
Oh, like the one you just bought. Buy 2 more, and you can give them to your friends.
Yeah. So one of the ads that it gave me was talking about how it's the law to have your dog buckled in. And I was like, oh, really? And if that's the case, then obviously this isn't a don't you know anymore because it's the law. And we try to avoid things that are actually law. These are don't you knows that are like unsaid.
For clarification, we do not try to avoid things that are actually law. We try to avoid speaking about things that are actually law.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I guess that should have been clarified in that way. Anyways, so I looked it up and this article deals with what states, and this is only United States, guys, so I know we have a lot of listeners from other countries. I don't know what your guys' laws are, but for the United States, this was kind of a map of all the different states, and it talks about the states that, yes, it's a law to restrain your animal while in a vehicle. No, it's not ambiguous, so it's not really said yes or no. One that a law was proposed but was defeated, and then another category of ones that were proposed, and it hasn't been decided just yet. So you can go ahead and click and see if you're interested. I'm just going to go ahead and read off the ones that are, the states that are required by law to strap your dogs in, just because I love dogs, and so I want to make sure that people are strapping their dogs in. Okay, so the states that it is law, so you better do it. Don't just say, don't you know, you do it. Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts.
Here we go.
That's a word I can pronounce.
Don't worry, nobody from there listens here.
That's true.
Massachusetts.
It's one of the M's that don't listen to us.
For clarification, don't you know does not say don't listen to us.
Minnesota, who does listen to us, so what? Strap your dog in. New Hampshire and Rhode Island. So most of it's all kind of like up north, and then Minnesota too.
The Northeast.
It's still up north.
Bunch of hippies. Puppy dogs strapping down hippies.
And I'll have you know, since Jacob is from Georgia, Georgia does not have any law.
We don't care. We'll eat them.
It's not that you don't care. It's because how are you supposed to strap your dog into your truck?
Touche.
Don't you know they just hop into the bed and that's it?
Yeah, it's easier
for
to-
real. Like a lot of people drive with their dogs in their bed of their
Yeah,
truck, which
I know, I've
is
seen
like
that before.
even probably worse
They're
than just
falling over
having
and
your
banging
car.
around in the tailgate. They're still flooring it, hee-hawing around the corners. No.
Yeah, the speed limits, a lot of them are a lot faster than here in California.
Oh yeah, we
You
could
go,
actually
like,
get up to
60
speed.
must-
I know,
Yeah.
it's nice.
You got your dog in your truck bed going 65. And then for California, since I'm in California, there was a law that was proposed but was defeated.
Darn. Defeated.
I would think that if any state would have a law for it, I would think California would be one of them.
Yeah. Don't you know you can't just put the seatbelt through their collar? That's not.
Oh, that's even worse. Like you like break their neck. Like, oh, at least they die quickly. No.
How humane.
So, don't you know that you should use a vest instead of a collar when you use the leash?
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah, you get a better grip. Better for them, better for you.
Yeah. Especially when your animal, my dog, is not the brightest and doesn't seem to understand the concept of a leash. And that no matter how hard you pull, they're still going to be resistant, which is what's causing you to choke. So I have to use a vest for my dog because she is lovely, but does not seem to understand the leash.
I think they're also helpful because when you pull on a leash, they can dig in and get low and still pull with all fours. When you have a harness, it pulls up on their torso and they just lift up, so they can't get as much pull at all.
And then, of course, you have my brother's dog, who you can't use a collar with because for some reason, she's really weirdly proportioned.
Slips off the head.
Yeah, exactly. She's got, like, her neck is bigger than her head.
Pitbull?
No, she's not a pit. Well, we don't know what she is. She's some type of mixed. The vet thinks that she's a mixed terrier of some sort. But she's also extremely overweight. Like, the vet said that she's obese.
The vet came out, looked at the clipboard, and said, "She thick."
Yeah, pretty much. And he was like, she should be walked 30. He was like, no more treats. And we're like, oh, poor Reese. Molly can't have any treats. You can't have any treats either.
Or more exercise. Could be out walking them more.
He also said to walk 30 minutes every day with her, which my mom can't do because she lives out in the desert. So it's too hot.
15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening.
Well, see, here's the thing. Even when my mom comes, like, in the evening time, my mom said it was still, like, 85 degrees.
Yeah. That's
like 6 or 7 o'clock.
Plus, it's so inconvenient, too. It's like, I don't want to go out walking every day. That's so lazy. I'm making fun of myself.
Well, once we get her, we can go for walks. It's not that big of a deal here.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure they have, like, little special shoes. But it doesn't get too hot, just on the days that it does. Yeah. So her neck, like, to put the collar on her neck, you can't put it where her head won't fit through because then it's too tight on her neck. So basically, she has to have a vest or else she just slips right through. Though she's pretty good about staying with you, but there are the moments where you're kind of like, come on, let's go, and she doesn't want to. She a tubber, she don't want to move.
That's funny.
Speaking of collars, I'm curious because I know you said that you had a couple dogs, and then you also had your roommate's dogs.
Yeah.
So, for me, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but don't you know when you take the collar off your dog, they're naked?
I don't know. I think they got fur. Was it? The collar doesn't cover any nudity.
I know it doesn't, but it just like it feels like almost like they're wearing some type of something, you know?
Nah, our dogs ran around without collars. We don't really care. They do look pretty sharp with a collar on, though, but sometimes they get annoying. You see them, like, scratching at them or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if your dogs are outdoors a lot and there's, like, no fence or something, it might be a good idea to keep a collar on them. But no, if we wanted to go for walks, we were only using the harnesses anyway. No, I don't think of it like that.
Cartoons make fun of it a lot. They have lots of little jokes about it where, like, the animal will get out and, like, take their, like, collar off or something like that, and someone will walk in and they're like, oh no! And they, like, cover themselves up, even though it's just the collar.
That's funny.
So, I actually have I saw, this was actually a couple weeks ago, so this is probably why I was thinking about pets as as today's topic.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this, like, meme on Facebook, and it is, like, a picture of a dog, and it's, like, between, like, the person sitting down, the dog's, like, between the legs, kind of, like, staring up at him. And it's, when visiting my house, please remember. And I was reading through some of these, and I was like, these are really good don't you knows that I think definitely should be said on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and read this. I'm gonna post this also on Twitter, so
Okay.
you guys can see this picture. But
You can look at it while we talk about it, because this is already out.
don't you know, if you don't like dog hair, stay off the sofa. Don't you know, I live here. You are the guest. Speaking from, like, you know, the dog's
Oh,
perspective.
this is from the dog's perspective.
That one was, don't you know, you will be sniffed and possibly licked. Deal with it.
This all sounds like badly trained mutts.
Don't you know, to you I am the dog, but here I am the baby. Which is so true. So many people treat their dogs like the baby. I
Yeah.
treat my dog
We
like
never
the baby.
did. Dog doesn't get food scraps. Dog
My dog doesn't get food scraps
doesn't
either,
jump up. It doesn't whine, and it
Mine
doesn't
does.
beg.
though. Mine does.
No.
Mine also sleeps on the bed.
Bad shit.
Mine
Sometimes
sleeps on the pillow, too, of the
sometimes-
bed.
The pillow.
And, yeah.
That's crazy.
And, like, sometimes she'll, like, lay her head on the same pillow as mine.
Oh,
when
yeah.
we're laying down.
That is super cute, though. That's a hard one to go against.
So, I have a really cute picture of my dog on my pillow, I think on my phone. I might post that on Twitter. Okay. Don't you know, they like me more than they like most humans? Which is so true for me. Like, I actually think I like animals more than I like humans. Sometimes I feel like that, at least.
Wow. I feel so... Let's go on.
Sorry, especially if we use Jacob as an example for humans. Now I really like animals
I know.
more.
I don't even blame you.
I'm kidding. I love you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then the last one is, don't you know, they love me. They're only friends with you. Ooh.
They feed me every day. They only feed you at, like, sporting events. Like Super Bowl or something.
Okay, I only have one more thing left.
I'm racking my brain. Let's hear it.
Okay, so this is kind of like a discussion, so this might last a little bit. So we know there are lots and lots of positive things about having pets.
Are there? Sounds
Yes.
like a lot of
Why else would we have
responsibility,
pets?
obligation, and rules, and cleaning up poop.
Fine. There are... Oh, that's a good don't you know. Don't you know if you take your dog for a walk, clean up after your dog?
Oh, yeah, of course.
A lot of people don't seem to understand that. Clean up after your dog.
Or one of you two's eating it. Gross. That's so gross. Maybe we should edit
Ew.
that out. You can use better judgment later.
No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it in there. People could just tell how, you know, your sense of humor, you know, whatever.
If you leave your poop, we're sending you to the moon. That's it.
Send you to the moon with the poop in your rocket.
You can't smell poop in space. Sorry, what a weird tangent. Carry on.
Okay, so fine then. Don't you know that there are like more pros than cons for having a pet, or else why would we have pets?
Yeah, I think so. Because if there were, there would not be such a phenomenon otherwise.
Yeah. But there are some cons, obviously.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the worst thing about having a pet?
The worst thing. I don't know. It's never like one big bad thing, though. It's just like a collection of different things. And it's like,
Yeah.
and it's never constant either. Or if it is, maybe you should think about a different pet. I don't know. I mean, there's always differences. There's always challenges, and each animal's a little different too. Like I had, and it's kind of funny. You always get those. They'll be like, they're perfect in every way except this, and you know, I think people are a lot like that too. It's finding someone that you can tolerate, or hey, this dog is kind of doesn't like strangers. Oh well, I'm a homebody. I don't have strangers over all the time, so he's fine for me. Of course, then there's problems when you do have strangers. It does become an issue, but that's up for you and your pet to work out.
You say as if the pet has any choice.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh, we're gonna sit down and have a talk, pet. You're going to like strangers.
Yeah, or I mean, there are ways to do like talkie therapy and stuff like that, training and things, and or just lock them out back.
Yeah, I know those are all things, but just the thought of doggy therapy.
Yeah, like sitting on the couch. How does that make you feel? Woof, 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 woof.
Which is not exactly how dog therapy goes. 'Cause,
No.
I mean, I've seen, like, you know, dog whisperer and all that stuff, and it's not how that goes.
No,
but-
when I'm talking about therapy, I'm thinking like classical conditioning, like positive reinforcement, negative punishment. I'm thinking of just bringing a bunch of strangers over to the house and training them through it. That's what I mean by therapy.
Okay, well, I'm looking at your floor,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm thinking, is fleas not one of the worst things about having a pet?
Ugh.
Because that's definitely, like, the worst thing for me, at
You
least.
want to know the worst thing? It's fleas. Oh, gosh. Well, barking was bad. Because I'm a very quiet person. But, you know, barking serves a purpose, too. I always think there's a home intruder.
Yeah,
You definitely have his attention on the barking.
unless it's, like, my dog where it's like,
Yeah.
Like they're like that high pitched little thing. They're like, oh, that's probably a small dog. Who cares?
Yeah, fleas are bad.
Don't you know that if your animal has fleas, then you have fleas? It is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it is.
Feels like you have fleas. At least for me, because fleas love me.
Yeah, they eat
I go to
your
work.
blood.
Yeah, but see, I read an article because I was like, okay, the fleas will sometimes like they don't bite my family here, and sometimes they'll crawl on them, but they won't bite them. But they love me. They'll find me somewhere. Like I don't have animals in my room, but yeah, I'll be in my room and I'll still get bit by fleas. Like they travel. And I was reading an article about it, which I guess I should have kept for our article thing. But anyways, basically what it said, though, was that fleas prefer animals. They prefer, like, cats and dogs over humans. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that, because they seem to love me. And, like, there's times I'll go to work and I'll find a flea that followed me to work. It came with, like, it traveled with me on my, like, clothes and went with me to work. Wow. And I'm just like, oh, it feels like I have fleas.
They're the worst. I'm finding an article I just read, but fleas are pretty bad. I would love to clarify that when Raquel says she can see from my floor, she's not talking about a bunch of visible fleas from my webcam. I've sprinkled a bunch of stuff on the carpet. There's a lot of white powder everywhere.
Yeah, white powder. I just assumed they were flea powder.
It looks like Tony Banderas' home. He's from Scarface.
We'll just say that's the carpet freshener kind of thing.
It's carpet freshener. It's making it a lot more fresh. No, they're the worst. But we're working on it.
They're one of those ones that, like, they're even worse when you have multiple pets, because then they like to, like, transfer to each other. So you could kill fleas from one animal, and then it just travels to the next one.
Oh, it's so bad. Well, if you're all nice and itchy now, it might be a nice time to wrap up.
Sure, we'll leave you scratching for more.
I have left a link in the articles section about how to, it's the white powder that's all over my carpet. Apparently it's a good, cheap way to get rid of it. And here's the Bug Squad's written a fantastic article. So, there you go.
Okay, we'll post those too. Because, fleas are the worst, so,
They are the worst.
So, I hope you guys liked this episode. I hope if you're not with your pets, you don't miss them too much after this episode. I miss my doggy so much now.
Yeah, don't you know you gotta give your pets some pets. Go pat them on the head, scritch their ears. They need it.
Don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to share. And you can send us your Don't You Knows or suggestions of topics that you want to do. I think our next episode will be a suggested topic from someone. I'm just going to make sure we don't have any holidays coming up that we should do instead.
Oh, yeah. Because if there's a holiday coming, your suggestions are out the window.
No, they just get pushed back.
They just get pushed back. You got to make them holiday related. If you want to hear about cars, and we love talking about cars, then just be like, what's your favorite car to drive on whatever holiday it is? I was trying to think of one coming up, but I don't even know my holidays right now.
No, they're not. The only thing we could possibly do would be maybe a conventions on some sorts, and we could talk about car shows and Comic Cons and all that.
Yes. Talk about Don't You Knows in the garage.
If we talk about cars in the garage, that's going to be finally an episode where we focus only on Jacob, because I won't have much to apply to. It'll be a very short one, because it'll be all on him to come up with the Don't You Knows for that.
I could talk for hours. Try me.
Please, Jacob. We'll probably be like, okay, Jacob, I don't have any Don't You Know, so what's your Don't You Know?
You'll hear the list unfold.
Please, you don't plan anything. I tell you the topic a week or two in advance, and you're just like, I didn't think of anything. I'll come up with them on the fly.
And yet, here we are.
Yeah, with me doing all the talkings. But that's okay, because I'm the funny one anyways.
You're hilarious. You're funny looking.
I knew that was coming. But you know what? I'm not funding sound-wise like you. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I don't know. Funny your face.
Well.
That's my go-to insult. Your face.
I'll take that. I'll roll with it.
Okay. So if you want to send us a suggestion or a Don't You Know, you can send it to us on Twitter at Don't You Know Pod, or you can send it to us through email at don'tyouknowpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, just send us an email. What's on your mind? You may be thinking, I like peaches. Just send it.
Yeah. And, you can even label anonymous or whatever. I pronounced that wrong. Oops. Sorry. Anyways, and we won't even have to say your username or whatever. So, until next time, guys. See ya.
See ya.